Hello everyone, and welcome back to Old Charles. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of U.S. coins, and we'll be exploring one of the most historic and widely collected coins, the United States $quarter from 1965. At first glance, this coin might look ordinary, but it carries a unique place in American numismatic history. From its historical background, to its metal composition, to how its condition affects its market value today, we'll cover it all in detail. So stay tuned till the very end, because some rare varieties of this coin can actually be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The year 1965 was a turning point in U.S. coinage history. Before this year, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But due to the rising price of silver in the early 1960s, the U.S. Treasury faced a massive problem. The value of the silver in the coins was becoming worth more than the face value itself. People began hoarding coins for their silver content, which created a shortage in circulation. To solve this issue, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965. This law changed the composition of U.S. dimes, quarters, and half dollars. Starting from 1965, quarters were no longer struck in silver. Instead, they were made of a copper-nickel clad composition, with outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This was a monumental shift in American coinage. The 1965 quarter became the first modern clad quarter, and it set the standard for quarters we still use today. The design of the 1965 quarter stayed the same as the earlier Washington quarters. On the obverse, front, ***, we see the portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan in 1932. Above his head is the word Liberty, to the left the motto, In God We Trust, and below is the date, 1965. On the reverse, back, there's the bold image of a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace. Above the eagle, you'll find United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, and at the bottom, the denomination $quarter. Interestingly, no mint marks were placed on quarters between 1965 and 1967 to discourage coin hoarding and speculation during the transition away from silver. That means every 1965 quarter you find today looks the same, regardless of whether it was struck at Philadelphia or Denver. Now, let's talk about value. Since the 1965 quarter was struck in huge quantities, more than 1.8 billion coins, most of them are still only worth their face value of 25 cents if found in circulated condition. But the value of a 1965 quarter depends heavily on condition, rarity, and special varieties. In heavily circulated condition, these coins are generally only worth 25 cents to 50 cents in uncirculated, mint state, condition. Collectors may pay $3 to $10. High-grade examples graded MS65 or MS66 by professional grading services can fetch $20 to $10. The true gems are MS67 plus quarters, which can sell for hundreds of dollars at auction because they are so rare in pristine condition. But that's not all. There are a few special varieties and errors that make some 1965 quarters extremely valuable. One of the most famous rarities is the 1965 silver transitional error quarter. Remember how 1964 was the last year of 90% silver quarters? Well, a small number of planchets, coin blanks, intended for 1964 silver quarters were accidentally used in 1965 presses. These transitional error coins were struck with the 1965 date, but on silver planchets instead of clad. If you ever find a 1965 quarter that looks and feels heavier, you might have struck gold, or rather, silver. These rare silver 1965 quarters weigh about 6.25 grams instead of the standard clad weight of 5.67 grams at auction. Some of these silver transitional error quarters have sold for over $7,000 to $10,000. Other collectible varieties include double die errors, where the design appears doubled. Off-center strikes ***, where the image is misaligned. Clipped planchets ***, where a portion of the coin is missing. Depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error, these coins can range from $50 to several $100s. Oh, how do you know if your 1965 quarter is valuable? Here are some tips. 1. Check the weight. A silver transitional error will weigh around 6.25 grams compared to the normal 5.67 grams. 2. Look for unusual toning or shine. Silver coins often age differently than clad coins. 3. Examine under magnification. Doubling or mint errors might not be visible to the naked eye. 4. Get it graded. If you think you have a rare coin, Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm authenticity and value. Point 5. Protect your coins. Store them in protective holders to prevent scratches, tarnish, or other damage. The 1965 Washington quarter dollar may seem like just another coin in your pocket, but its story marks a historic shift in U.S. coinage, from silver to clad. While most of these quarters are still only worth their face value, special conditions, high grades, and rare transitional errors can turn an ordinary 25-cent piece into a coin worth thousands of dollars. Oh, the next time you come across a 1965 quarter, don't just spend it right away. Take a closer look. Who knows? You might just be holding a hidden treasure. We're going on a deep dive into the history, design, and value of one of the most important coins in U.S. history, the 1965 Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, this coin may look ordinary, but it represents a huge turning point in American coinage. By the end of this video, you'll understand not only its collector value but also the powerful history behind why it was created and what it meant for the economy and the nation. To truly appreciate the 1965 Washington quarter, we need to go back a few decades. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, created to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Sculptor John Flanagan designed the coin, and his portrait of Washington on the obverse became one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage history. From 1932 until 1964, the quarter was struck in 90% silver and 10% copper. These silver quarters had intrinsic value because silver itself was a precious metal traded on the world market. For many years, the metal value stayed below the face value, so it wasn't a problem. But in the early 1960s, something dramatic began to happen. The price of silver started climbing on global markets. By 1964, silver demand was surging due to industrial needs and hoarding by investors. Everyday Americans noticed this and began hoarding silver dimes, quarters, and half dollars. Why spend a quarter worth 25 cents when the silver in it might soon be worth more? This hoarding caused a major coin shortage in circulation. Supermarkets, vending machine operators, and banks reported that small change was disappearing rapidly. To solve this crisis, the U.S. government needed to act. That's when President Lyndon B. Johnson and Congress stepped in. On July 23, 1965, the Coinage Act of 1965 was signed into law. This was one of the biggest overhauls of U.S. coinage in modern history. The act permanently removed silver from dimes and quarters and reduced silver in half dollars. Starting in 1965, quarters would be made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, an inner core of pure copper, an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This change not only stabilized the coin supply but also set the standard for the coins we still use today. Interestingly, between 1965 and 1967, the U.S. Mint decided not to use mint marks on any coins.
Why?
Because officials feared that collectors and speculators were driving the shortage by hoarding coins with certain mint marks. By removing mint marks, the Mint hoped to discourage speculation and ensure coins went into everyday circulation. The transition period wasn't smooth. Many Americans were upset, believing the government had cheapened the nation's coins. Some even continued hoarding the last silver issues of 1964. Meanwhile, collectors began searching for errors, and this is where some of the most valuable 1965 quarters originate. When it comes to coin collecting, one of the most important things to understand is how the condition of a coin affects its value. Two coins from 1965 may look similar to the untrained eye, but one could be worth just face value, 25 cents, while the other could sell for hundreds of dollars at auction. Oh, how does condition make such a difference? Let's break it down step by step. Most 1965 quarters you find today are in circulated condition, meaning they've been used in everyday transactions for decades. They may show scratches, wear on Washington's hair, a smoothness on the eagle's feathers, or even discoloration. In good G4 grade, the coin is heavily worn, Washington's portrait is flat, and details are nearly gone. Value, 25 cents. In fine F12 grade, Washington's portrait is visible but still very worn, with flat hair details. Value, 25-30 cents. In very fine VF 20 to VF 35 grade, more detail is visible in Washington's hair and the eagle's wings, though still worn. Value, 30-50 cents. These circulated coins usually aren't valuable because billions were made, but collectors still enjoy having examples as part of a complete set. Next, we have the about uncirculated AU grade, which means the coin has only the lightest traces of wear, usually just on the highest points of Washington's cheek or the eagle's wings. An AU 50 to AU 58 coin still has most of its original luster but shows slight signs of handling. These coins are more attractive to collectors and may sell for $1 to $3. While that may not sound like much, it's already several times face value, and we're just getting started. The real excitement begins with coins in mint state. These are coins that never entered circulation and still look nearly as fresh as the day they were struck at the mint. Mint state coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, from MS60 to MS70. Let's walk through the main levels MS60 to MS62***. These coins are uncirculated but may have lots of small scratches, dull luster, or weak strikes. Value: around $2, $5 MS63 to MS64**. These have better luster, fewer marks, and sharper details. Value: $5, $15 MS65**. This is considered gem uncirculated. The coin has strong eye appeal, bold strike, and only very minor imperfections. Value: $20, $50, 66**. A high-end gem. Extremely attractive with minimal flaws. Value: $75, $150. MS67***. This is a true rarity for the 1965 quarter because so few survive in this pristine condition. These can sell for $500, $1,000 or more at auction, a 68 and higher ***, almost unheard of for the 1965 quarter. If certified by PCGS or NGC, such a coin can sell for several $1,000s because it represents near perfection. For reference, a PCGS MS68 1965 Washington quarter has fetched over $5,000 at auction now. Here's something interesting. While there were no proof quarters officially made in 1965, some experimental and special strikes exist. These were struck at the mint with extra care, almost like proofs, to test the new clad composition. Collectors call these special mint set SMS coins. SMS coins from 1965 often have sharper details and smoother surfaces than regular circulation strikes. In high grade, SMS coins can bring $20, $200, with rare cameo or deep cameo examples selling for hundreds of dollars. Oh, if you see a 1965 quarter with an unusually shiny or proof-like surface, it could be an SMS coin, and definitely worth checking. As you can see, condition can mean everything. A worn-out 1965 quarter might only get you a soda from a vending machine, but a pristine mint state gem or a rare special mint set coin could bring you hundreds, even thousands, of dollars.